Hi, and welcome to Eternal Love of Drama. I'm Linda, and this is our channel where we talk about Chinese dramas. We don't know anything about the industry or any entertainers in China. We just enjoy watching dramas and sharing our very strong opinions about them.
Hi, I'm Sharon, and today we're going to be talking about Joy of Life. And this is actually really only going to be a very short review, because what we want to do is make our predictions for Joy of Life Season 2, which we think, we've heard that is actually really coming. So just a quick summary. Joy of Life is a 2019 drama. It's 46 episodes, and it's actually about, it's a little bit of a Chinese ancient drama sci-fi situation. There's a contemporary man, and somehow he ends up in the body and mind of a baby in ancient China. And so he grows up with the memories of being sort of a modern person in that ancient context. But then there's a bunch of mysteries around, how did he get into that situation? What happened to his mom? What are the background stories for a lot of the other characters? What is the state of the world? And then he finds himself in this power struggle with the emperor and his sons and another country, and et cetera, et cetera. So he plays kind of a role in it. And what did you like about it?
Yeah, I watched it. I started it before, and pretty soon after it came out, and I didn't like it very much because I found the humor to be a little too wink, wink, nod, nod. Haha, I'm from the future. I know about blah, blah, blah. But I got bored enough, and we had enough time in the last year that I started it again, and I really started to appreciate the complexity of the storytelling and all the characters and the humor. All the characters are interesting. They have their unique motivations. They have their own backstory and secrets, and it's not like a situation where they're just caricatures to move the plot forward, right?
Yeah, I think that's the key thing that I also liked about it. I mean, actually, what I really liked about it was the little boy in episode 1 that plays little Fan Xian, because that little boy is so funny, and he's so smart. So I thought that episode 1 was really funny, and I would watch it again and again and again.
I think that if you don't watch the whole drama, if you just watch episode 1,
yes.
It's hilarious. But then there's other characters that are also
yes.
very funny throughout the drama as well.
Yes. So the characters are really complicated. They're very unpredictable. They're maybe a little morally ambiguous, and that makes the entire thing more unpredictable. There's virtually no tropes in it that you would see. There's no twirling and falling into the arms, or there's no deliberate misunderstanding to drive a plot forward. There's actually just a really quality, unpredictable plot, because the people are unpredictable and they're really interesting.
Well, I would say a little bit that
okay.
whole Jitui Gunyang,
okay,
in the very beginning, but that's their whole meet cute in the beginning.
Yes,
is a little
that's true.
tropey, but other than that, it's just it's funny. It's pretty smart. The writing and the plot development is very smart. So,
and the fighting and the action sequences are really good. They have some really good standoffs, and the fighting is just very fun to watch as well.
So we recommend this drama.
Yes.
It is 46 episodes. It's on YouTube. The subtitles in English are fairly good. So we recommend it. If you haven't watched it yet, we also recommend that you stop watching this video now. We are going to transition into talking about our predictions for Joy of Life 2, and so it will contain all the spoilers.
Yes.
Every spoiler. Stop watching if you haven't watched 1 yet.
Okay, but keep watching if you did watch 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we want to know what you think too.
Okay. So the first is a question about when actually do we think Season 2 will come out. I'm going to assume that we both believe, because there's a My Drama List page and some internet chatter, that it does exist.
Yeah, they're still writing the script though, so I think at the earliest, fall 2022. But that, who knows? I think there's a lot of areas where this plot goes off the deep end, and can be like, we don't see a lot of sci-fi in C-drama, and I think that there are some like government objections to it, and so I think that it's possible that they shoot it and they make it and then like it gets held up. So I don't know. I mean, optimistically, right?
Optimistically,
Fall
end
of
of
2022.
2022. I think fall is a little early. I mean, maybe it'll come out like in November, like it did. So this came out in November of 2019, right? Okay. So here
But
we
you said they were shooting 2 and 3.
Yes,
There's
I
gonna be a
read
3.
that they were going to shoot 2 and 3, and that this is actually a trilogy. So I don't know if that means like that it will for sure happen,
Mhm.
and that they're just doing it, because also it's like the pacing of sequels versus like the originals, and like it's like sequels are always a rumor.
Okay.
Okay,
So let's talk about that cliffhanger at the very end
Yes.
of
season 1. Does Fan Xian die?
Of course not.
No.
Right? He's
course
the main
not.
character. He can't.
Yeah, and he'll probably be in season 2 and 3 if there's a 3.
I
Okay.
would assume, because at the moment there's nobody else to like carry this story, right?
Yes.
But then let's talk about what actually happened there,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So I think that it's pretty clear that Fan Xian worked with Yan Bingyun, who is the character played by Xiao Zhan, to orchestrate this whole scene where he
Gets
looks
that.
like he is going to die, but probably isn't. Do we think Xiao Zhan's coming back?
Uh-huh.
What do we think of Yan Bingyun? Is he evil? Is he good? How
Okay.
will they work together in the future?
Okay,
Or not.
I would like Xiao Zhan to come back because I think he did such a good job as Yin Bingyun. He played a very stern character that's just kind of the opposite of Fan Xian's character, and it was a great compliment. I thought they had sort of like a good on-screen like back and forth. So I'm very hopeful that he comes back, and I think maybe the fact that there's 2 seasons shooting at the same time, that it'll be better, like we'll have a better chance of seeing him. So I'm gonna say, because I hope that it's true, I'm gonna speak it into existence. Yes,
Yeah.
Xiao Zhan is
Alright.
coming back.
I think it's really interesting that he was filming this at the same time as The Untamed, because he was playing the 2 opposite characters. Like
Yes.
in this one, he's very principled, he's very serious, and he's the other character in The Untamed. So
Yes. So is he actually evil? Like, does he stab Fan Xian because he's evil? And, per his, like, rationale.
I think that he's an extremely principled and loyal person. I think that, of course, though, that he is about to find out about a serious secret / betrayal.
Yes.
So I think that I'll say my fantasy.
Okay.
So I believe that Yan Bingyun is the rightful heir to the throne of the other country. And so in my world, Fan Xian becomes the emperor of this country. Yan Bingyun becomes the emperor of the other country. They are bros and buddies. They work together to talk about what happened to create a situation under which the earth became uninhabitable to humans, and they had to like restart from ancient civilization, and how to avoid having that happen again. And they just work together, and everybody lives happily ever after.
Okay, so that's like perfectly tied together with a bow. Okay. I actually don't think he's evil either. I'm not sure I'm bought into your whole story.
My whole fantasy.
No, I
How
don't
that's
know.
going to play out? No.
I generally agree with you about the arc. I think that they are. I definitely think they are working together in this last sequence, because there's the disappearance of Wang Qinyan, who went to do something, right? And then like we don't see like Uncle WuZu, who is like So I think there's something going on that they're working together on, and I think they will collaborate for a significant portion of the next little bit of time, like most of season 2. And then I think there will be that moment when he finds out, Yan Bingyun finds out about that thing.
And Fan Xian knows about it.
Yes,
And
he's
then
gonna.
it's like-
He's gonna be upset about it, but more upset that Fan Xian knew this whole time and didn't tell him. And then that will cause like a situation, and then maybe that will be part of the season 2 cliffhanger. I don't know. So that is like my general view of him. Now, I also think it's interesting that you think Fan Xian actually becomes the emperor, because I actually think it's between the first and the second prince, and maybe the second prince rather than Fan Xian, because his whole thing is like I don't like, I want to have like an easy life. Right?
I think that he experiences a transition, right? There's this like really weird part. I think that the whole like Yes. So I think that his contemporary character has an autoimmune disease and is very sick. And so I think the reason it's called Joy of Life is because he feels like he's got this like brand new opportunity to have another go at it, which is why he's like, I only want to be happy. I only want to have this happy, easy life. But I think that there are a couple things that like change that for him, right? Finding out like his friend dying. Oh, what a good character, right? His
So
friend
sad.
dies. He finds out about all this intrigue, and I think by the end of season 1, he's bought in and involved in this, and
Okay.
he has a
Okay.
thing that he is trying to accomplish.
Okay.
And so I think now he's just in it. He's committed. He's in it, and no longer the like I'm just gonna
Okay.
write poems and be happy kind of
Okay.
person.
And so the thing that he's trying to do is find out how his mom dies.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you think his mom dies? Because there's also a mystery that we don't know yet. Like, there's like that secret room that's under the lake.
There's the under the lake. There's the temple.
There's the temple.
Like I think that it's clear that the emperor is responsible for his mom's death. I don't know how,
Mhm.
and I think it's probably because she had too much power and influence. But yeah, I don't know the logistics and how that will play out because I think he is now like a little bit bent on revenge,
Yes.
and
I think it has something to do with his mom knowing how the world ended and maybe wanting the emperor to do something to prevent that from happening again, and the emperor not wanting his power taken away. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
But to go back to the whole Prince 1 and Prince 2, like I definitely think 2 is such an interesting character,
Oh,
and
yes.
like well played.
Well played.
Weird hair, I love it. I love it all. No shoes, weird hair, secret conniving behind the manipulate. Like I like it. It's a good character. Like he's a good secret villain, right?
He is. He's actually like one of the better villains.
But I think he's won this battle and not the war. I don't think that he beats out Fan Xian in the end.
Does he bring back the princess?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is she actually evil?
I think she's evil and power hungry. I don't think that she is that smart, though. I think she has benefited from being on his team and like whatever. I don't. She herself is.
I think she's a very interesting character because she's not married, but she has a child. And so, like, there is like a backstory there, and we do not know what it is. And I think that's really to deter motivations in a lot of this. So that's like our country.
Also, she's mentally ill, extremely.
Yes,
mentally
definitely. Okay, so let's talk about the other country, the emperor of the other country. Do people know she's a woman? Is that like a wink, wink, nod, nod?
I don't know. Nobody ever talks about it, but
Yes.
it is clearly
She's a woman. And like they set it up, right? Because she has a mistress. Yeah, and like she moved the mistress into the palace, and it's like this whole thing.
I do not know. I do not know what is happening there, and
I think that's going to be really interesting.
I can't wait to watch that unfold
because it's very clear that she and her I guess it's her mom,
it's
right?
Not her actual
it's not
mom,
her actual
though.
mom. The like dowager empress. They're definitely in it together.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're definitely in it together.
As long as we get to see more of Hightown WuZu.
Yes.
I love that character. She is hilarious.
Yes. But okay, so I think Hightown WuZu is interesting. I think it's also going to be interesting to watch the what's his name, the Daoren, the other swordsman that they leave in charge of the spy network, because it's clear that the emperor knows that he's the spy, but they think that he's a secret spy.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be really interesting. Yeah. So speaking of Hightown WuZu, let's talk about Fan Xian and his women.
Yes. So in the drama, he doesn't seem to cheat on Jitui Gunyang, but I think in the source material he does. And there is clearly a lot of romantic tension between him and Hightown WuZu. And I think that it'll be interesting to see if they pursue. I mean, there's so much plot. There's so many little pieces
Yes.
that are just like out there, and I don't know which ones they will pick up and which ones will end up tying together. But like, there is they had this like cute meeting.
Mm-hmm.
They had
They
this
fought
like
together.
misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Then they like, I'm talking about Li Qing.
Oh,
Ji Shui
yes,
Guliang,
yes,
right?
yes.
And there was
yes.
the whole thing about like them being married.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna get married once he comes back. Like he's looking forward to that. But then at the same time, he promised her he would not be involved with other women, and here he is, like out there. Like even though they don't like make it clear in the drama that he is like dallying with other women, like that weird ass dance that he did with Hightown at like it is clear that she's gonna play a role, and so I wonder if the like love triangle thing will get picked up in the next in the sequels, because I don't actually think that piece is that interesting.
Yep, I agree. I just like her character. I think it's great.
Yeah, I'm curious whether there's more to the Ji Shui Guliang character.
Yeah,
or if she's just because her mom is this
psycho lady.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if not, then like if she falls by the wayside, like fine.
Okay.
I don't think that there's so many interesting pieces to pick up that I don't think like a love triangle is necessary.
I think it's completely unnecessary. And I would be disappointed in the screenwriters if they inserted that as a plot device. Yeah. Okay, so
should we go back to the past?
Well, the past, future. So who else is? So we know that he's from the past/future, and do we think that Uncle is a robot?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. He reminds me of Data from Star Trek.
Clearly a robot.
I think he's a robot. But who else is from the past/future? I think that maybe the Imperial grandmother is, because she somehow has the key.
She does.
She has the key, and I don't know how she has the key. And like, what is her relationship with Fan Xian's mom?
I know. That's an interesting point. I'd forgotten about the key. But it's really like not clear like who else might be from the like are they gonna go back to that temple? Like there were other people there.
Yes.
Little
when his mom was little, she was like, let's go before,
And so I don't know if there are other people that just came out and decided to just live their life and really take that second chance to have a joyful life. But like that could change a lot of things if there were another
person or more people. And I'm really curious too, how did the world end? Like what are the mechanics of like how we got to where we are?
I don't know if that like do we just deal with I bet 2 deals a lot with like the power struggles in these 2 countries, and I don't know if they're ever going to get to, maybe in 3 they would get to like the whole like what's the bigger picture? Like what is like why are we in this situation, and like what are we supposed to learn, and what are we supposed to do differently, because they did not touch, we know that that's the backstory by the end, but
do you think we'll find out?
I think that it would be interesting, of course, in my dream scenario, right, the 2 emperors work together and blah, blah, blah. But I think that the 2 will continue to be, like, dealing with the power struggles in these 2 countries. And I don't know if they will ever, like, if there's a 3, maybe they will start talking about, like, how to prevent this stuff moving forward. But I don't know I don't know the scope of, like, the source material and whether they feel like they can or would be allowed to
have that full philosophical discussion.
Full conversation about it.
Okay, so final question for predictions is, or it's not really a prediction, it's like, who do you think are actually the irreplaceable characters?
Oh, right. Because we've been talking about, like, will the full cast return?
Yes. So we talked about Xiao Zhan, but actually one of the reasons this was so good is because I think across the board, all of the characters were excellent. And so, for example, I would hate for the Emperor not to come back, because I feel like he's irreplaceable.
It's a weirdo.
Such a weirdo. It's like weird bathrobe,
it's
hair, messy.
Yeah, the visual storytelling with the Emperor is so interesting. Like he wears a bathrobe all the time. He's like looks super disheveled all the time. He's got all these crazy doors that spin,
and he's like always so, like tinkering.
Making these model, like it is. Yeah, it's weird. Yes. And shooting people with bow. Yeah.
Tim
Okay.
Ping is also in
Tim
that
Ping
category.
is a good. Yeah. I don't think he's replaceable. I think that it would be done if they replaced Fan Xian.
Oh, absolutely.
There's no way anybody's
But I think
watching this,
he's
right?
confirmed,
Yeah.
correct? Okay.
I don't
good.
think that. Again, I don't know what's going to happen with like whether there's going to be like a romance angle or if it's just. I think it's interesting enough without.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Li Qing comes back or if she needs to.
Yeah.
They weren't together for much
Yeah.
of the drama, anyways.
Yeah.
I think it would be a damn shame if Hightown Dodo didn't come back.
Oh,
'Cause
yes.
and Wang Qinian, right?
Oh, my
the
gosh.
two of them
Those two. Yes.
were
Yes.
really, really funny and really good. So,
I would be heartbroken if Uncle WuZu didn't come back because, like, that guy was so good. I mean, yes, that guy.
so I think though, like, Prince, second Prince,
Definitely.
but first Prince,
Yeah, he was
I don't
unmemorable.
remember what he looks like though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're really looking forward to Joy of Life 2, which we know don't hold our breaths because
Yes.
that might never happen.
What are your predictions? Tell
Yeah.
us in the comments. We want to know what you all think is going to happen.
But if you haven't watched Joy of Life 1, sorry for spoiling it, but you should watch it anyway.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you just watched all this.
Bye.
Bye.